Hi guys, this is Deb Alps, debalps.com. Would you like to know how the 2% of the population, the lucky 2% are retire at 65, and guess what? They are not dead, and they're not dead broke. Well, listen up. In this short video, I'm going to share with you the difference between that 2%. Number one, first of all, where do all of us start? I mean, we've all been taught that to get an education, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get an education, graduate, and get a job, right? Okay, so what's the reality there? Here you go. You go to college, okay, you get your education. You have the learning, you have the knowledge, but guess what? You don't yet have the skills when you go out to get a job. So basically the big issue there is, well, you don't have experience. They don't want to hire you because you don't have experience. What they're really saying is, I don't want to hire you because you don't have skills. So anyway, let's talk about that for a minute. That's this person right here, the employee. Okay, now most of you that have gone to college, I have 3 college degrees and a master's. Most of you that went to college, you have a minimum of $40,000 in student loan debt. Many of you well over $100,000 in student loan debt. Now, you go out and you get a job. You finally get your first job, but you find it may pay only $30,000 a year, maybe if you're lucky, $40,000 a year, right? Is that going to pay that $40,000 to $100,000 of student loan debt? Probably not. And the other thing that you find out when you are in this category is that your employer, because they need to make money, you need to be valuable to them. So what happens is, quite often they will make you work 80 hours a week, and then on salary they can get away with paying you 40 hours a week. Now, do the math. Just do the math. Let's say you're making $40,000 a year, and you're working 80 hours a week, making $40,000 a year. You're only making really about $10 an hour, which isn't much different than working at McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever you did when you went to college. You know, so how's that going to pay the bills? How's that going to work, right? And then the other thing about being an employee is you are the highest taxed individual in the United States. You pay the highest percent of your earnings to income tax of any of these other categories. So, in other words, you'll be paying probably a minimum of 20-25% of your income will go to income taxes. Just by simply switching over to somewhat to this category, you can save yourself $5,000 this year. You can have $5,000 more in your pocket this year just through the tax savings alone. Anyway, so that's the employee. Well, let's say, hey, I'm not real happy with being an employee. I'm an accountant or a doctor or a lawyer or a hairdresser, whatever. I'm going to go be a self-employed person. All right. Well, there's another thing with a self-employed person, what they find out. They find out the only way they can make more money is to work longer and harder, right? I mean, they're by themselves, and people want to come to them. If you're an accountant, they have certain accountants they want to go to. Doctors, they have certain doctors they want to go to. So what happens, and actually that's also in both these, what happens if you get sick, okay, and you can't work? Now, if you're an employee, you might have some paid sick leave, okay? You might have that for a little bit. Okay, but what happens now if you're a self-employed person? Usually you don't. Usually if you're a self-employed person and you can't do the work, guess what? You don't get paid. So the only way you're going to get paid if you're a self-employed person is to work longer and harder. So you're also, and that doesn't include the going out and networking. That doesn't include going out and setting up ad campaigns. That doesn't include marketing. That doesn't include anything that you don't get paid for when you're a self-employed person. All right, because I've been there. I've been a hairdresser, had a salon. I've been here as well in the corporate world. Okay, so now this is the side you want to be on. Okay, this one here, the business owner or the investor. Okay, so what's the difference? What's the difference between here and here? Okay, the main difference is that this side here, these guys have created assets that earn them money whether they work or not. All right, and it's important you know that, because if you don't have assets, now the investor, what they have, a lot of times they will have rental properties that bring them cash flow every month. Well, a lot of people can't get to this stage unless they do this stage first. All right, they're a business owner and they build an asset in the business owner side, so that's earning them money to be the investor. All right, so if I hope you got value from this. I'm getting ready to go to San Diego. I'm pumped. I'm going to hang out with my friends for 10 days. But anyway, if you really want to know more about how you can be in this side, and it's important you do, because otherwise you'll be the 98% that are dead or dead broke, then go ahead. I'm going to leave my number, my cell phone number down below. And I'm also going to leave my email. You can email me. Like I said, remember, I'm going on vacation for 10 days, so it might be a day or two before I get back to you, but I will get back to you because it's important you understand this. Anyway, like I said, if you'd like to know more, give me a call, and we'll see you in the next video.